Hello, in this video I will show you how to reproduce the demo scene. There are exactly the four cases. So the first one is the piano, where we retarget a generic animation to a humanoid animation to showcase its ability to transform the finger animations. And the second demo is about the generate, which will showcase the retarget from the generic animation to a humanoid animation. We will produce no foot slipping. And then we will go through example where we will get a retargeted animation with the socket one. That's it. The ball will move and fly as in the original generic animation, which will not be, which is a very important feature of this plugin that supports the socket animation retargeting. So the last example is about the root motion and the non-root motion. So let's walk through it one by one. So we have already got the plugin, that's the Reducted Pro Humanoid Baker. If you do not have this plugin, you were not able to walk through this tutorial. So please buy it and open the demo scene as I did here. Now we will to work on the first example. So we need to first open up the retarget humanoid animation window, which under the window animation and retarget humanoid animation. So with this window open up, we have to fill all these fields, that's the source character, target character, retarget profile, as well as the source animation clip. So we have to drag the characters first. So the source character will be a generic character or a generic model with avatar type as generic. So this one, now we can see. Then we will drag the banana man model, which is a humanoid one. Both in the world origin, that's okay, but it's not necessary to be in the world origin. And now we can see their foot is too high from the ground, but that does not affect the retarget progress. So the target character, and we will to find a retarget profile for it. So in this case, I have already provided it in the demo folder. So checking the first one, that's the retarget profile no socket, which says the animation will have no socket transformation. Then we'll have to select the source animation. So in this case, it will be the piano generic, this one. And I have to mention or to note that the generic animation always and only work for the generic avatar. So for example, now this model, the IK-Rig TFP, is a generic actor or a generic avatar anyway. So it can play it correctly, but if you drag in a humanoid avatar, or a humanoid character model, it cannot play correctly. So with this plugin, you can transform a generic animation to a humanoid animation. So let's see the preview results, and we can to go on this button to make it loop. So make it loop, and let's check it again to see the retarget results. So it seems to be good. We can retarget it now. So we have the path to save the retargeted animation. So we'll locate the animation into this folder. So now we get one. So it's quite clear. I see currently this animation is a humanoid animation. and it works for the Banana Man model with the finger animations, right? If you check in the generic avatar, it will not play correctly because it's a humanoid animation and it's a retargeted one from the generic one. So this works. Now we can check if whether it really works. So go to the piano example and go to the Humanoid Baker one. So this one, let's go to its animator controller and replace the animation clip. So currently it's point to the animation clip that I provided in the demo folder, and our newly generated one is here. So we drag and replace it, and we can check if it really works. So we do not want to play focus, we just want to check it. So do it. So you'll see it really works as expected. But it can have some issues on the precision. It's caused by the avatar's muscle settings. So you can have a check on the Unity documentation to further explore on the details of humanoid muscles. The big results will be affected by the muscle system. That's a quite important point if you find the animation's precision or the accuracy or the degree of matchment does not satisfy your need. You have to adjust the muscle settings of the retarget target character model. So that's a tip for you. And then we have to do the generate example. So it's also retargets from a generic mode animation to humanoid animation. So in this case, we will use the animation C rifle to generate source. So we still can preview it to see if it satisfies our need. Besides, you can adjust the retarget profile settings here by modify the weights. For example, we can adjust the feature weight so it will not have a hip animation. So now it seems there's a foot sliding and that not work well because it has an offset on the ground because we disable the hip retarget feature. Now we enable it, we will get what we want. No. So let's retarget the animation and we will get the new one. So this one still not work on the generic avatar. Then we drag in this humanoid avatar. So we can check it by replace the animation of the animator. So this one, and we replace with the newly generated one. So we can play and have a check. So it's not that hard. So some people say they cannot notice the foot sliding, but you can see our retarget humanoid animation. The left foot is not sliding, but the original humanoid animation had foot sliding. So that's a big difference. Now we can have to deal with the socket part. So many people may do not understand what's the socket. Socket is a noun that says some non-humanoid transform that gets animated by the animation designer or programmer or anyway, it just exists some transform in the hierarchy that's not a bone. It can be a ball, it can be a point, can be a weapon. So that gets animated. It generally happens in many cases, but we still have not got a tool to transform the socket animation because the socket transform has its animation path is different across models. For example, in the banana man, it will be the banana man left hand and then the ball, right? But in the say it will be IKTFP and the right hand and then the ball. So these two are different in the path or in the string comparison. So we need to use this retarget tool to get the animation that we want on the banana man. So Toket chip, let's see the results first. Let's just do it. So we drag in the characters. Now we have to use different characters. We drag in these two characters because they all have ball and the ball is a socket. So what's the socket? You can check the skeleton, the hips, the spine, the chest, the left shoulder, left arm, left below, it happens on the right part. So generate. This is the socket. It has an animation. So this animation should be the sort of humanoid baker's humanoid socket. This animation. So we're checking the IKTFP one, and we'll see the socket has an animation, right? That's quite clear. But it will not work on this Planame model, though it also has a socket. The reason is the animation, the socket part. Let me show you the generate socket. Its part is anyway, it's not missing now, but you can check the previous tutorial video and you will get what I want to say. I'm just saying the socket part, animation path is different, so it cannot directly transform to across different humanoid model, not even work on generic animations. So with this tool, you can do that. So let's drag in the source character, drag in the target character. There's a note that you have to refresh the hierarchy here before you try to preview it or retarget it. And now you can you have to replace the retarget profile with the socket one. And you will find there's a additional mapping between sockets. If you use the previous one, it does not have a mapping for the sockets. So you have to use the socket one. And you can try to preview it. Remember, you have to refresh the hierarchy before you try to preview or to get export the retargeted animation. So currently, I expect it will work. So that's cool, right? Now it's time to get the retarget animation. So it's quite quick in my machine because it's quite advanced in this case. So now you can see it works on the Banana Man model and does not work on the IK model because they share different animation paths. So now since we got the model, we also can check it in the game view. So by select the animator, replace the animation. Currently, this one is provided in the demo. We can use the newly retarget one. So this one is clear, right? The newly retargeted one, not the one provided in the model. Have a check, and now we get this one. You can see the Unity humanoid cannot correctly transform the humanoid, the socket animation, while our humanoid baker can get animation that correctly. So now the last one is the loose motion and non-loose motion. So it's quite simple because it's the same progress into model. Replace it. Use the no socket one because this one we do not need the socket mapping, although it's also okay to use the socket version. And now the animation should be the Samba generic. So Samba generic. And let's see our model here. So it seems to work as expected in the preview window. It's quite cool. Now it's time to get it to retarget. So this case it takes a longer time because the animation length is much longer than before. So this is a generic animation. The retarget one. So also it has a root motion. We can also have the one with non-root motion. So it should be this one. Cool. I have to admit that this may not work for those animation clip that has an initial rotation because it has an inverse rotation, right? It will be a later check, but currently this issue can possibly solved by go this back into pose and use the original, and now it's corrected. Now we can replace the chin here. Oh, sorry, we should select the root motion part. This one, replace it. Root motion should be the first one. No root motion should be the second one. So we can have a check here. So perfect. So thank you for watching this video. If you find this video is helpful, please subscribe and maybe buy this asset to show your attitude. So if you feel any inconvenience or special cases that not included in this demo, you please feel free to send me through the email, and I will try to help you resolve the issues. Thank you.